This is the instructional video on how to make chicken stock, the first part of your foundation plan. So to make some chicken stock, we get a pot, pretty much filled with water. We're adding in some, specifically, just a pinch of black peppercorns, and again, just a good pinch of fennel seeds. Now to this, we're going to add chicken. So I prepared a chicken already. Basically went and bought myself a free-range chicken, popped it onto a tray, put it in the oven for an hour and 10 minutes at medium temperature, about 180 degrees. So what do I do with this chicken? Very straightforward. I just start to take off the skin, take off the meats of the bones. You just get a plate to put them on. A plate to take all the extra little bits. So right now, even though it's delicious, meaty, tasty chicken, we're not concerning ourselves too much with that. We're taking all the bones off, all the meat off of the bones, popping the bones, as they are, just here, you can see, into your water that already has the peppercorns and the fennel seeds in it. So taking off the skin and the meat, leaving these parts pretty much intact. Take the chicken breast, so you're going to have some chicken left over, some beautiful chicken, especially when it's free range. You see this little pieces here, the cartilage, those are so nutrient dense, you need those to go into your broth. So remember, you're not eating the bones, you're not eating the cartilage, you're taking the meat away firstly, popping what is left of the chicken, the carcass. This is very straightforward to do. What's left of the chicken, the bony bits basically, all the, you can see some great cartilage here, those are all going into your water. So keep on taking the meat off, the skin and the meat, and storing it and chucking bones in. If a little bit of meat goes in, that's fine, no problem. If there's a bit of bone goes in, or the top of a leg or something like that with meat and it goes in, that's fine too. Oh, smell that off my shirt. Pop in your wishbone, and we're all wishing for good health for you here. Take off more meat, as much as is possible. You know, in chicken, there's these brown bits that you'd never eat that are all a little bit gross looking. Put those in the water. Those all go in. A little bit more bone grabbing from a big chicken, from a big free range chicken, more lovely brown bits. Brown bits, more nutrient dense. Little chicken wing, you can get a lot of bone out of a chicken wing if you need to, but we just want to get the basics. Chucking in lots more bone again. This is a nice big piece of, who knows. Now, I just want to say something as well as I'm talking here. If this seems a little bit gross to you and it's not something you want to do, you can use a product called L-glutamine. L-glutamine is available in health stores, and it will work on your enterocytes similarly, but not as effectively. So doing this bony, gungy stuff is the best way to heal your enterocytes. This, as well as the stew and the salad that we'll be showing later on, will all be very important parts put together, especially. They're become more than the sum of their parts. So some nice big bones here, I nearly missed them. Those will go into it. Little bits of meat on there, that's fine. Don't worry about that. So if you haven't got the energy to do this, someone will do it for you. There's plenty of people out there who will be happy to do this for you if you're not healthy. Just don't be afraid to ask. I think that's pretty, that's pretty bonus. There's nothing left there, maybe just lots of chicken and stuff, so I'll be separating that out later on. The skins, etc. will go to my little Shih Tzu, and the rest will be put into a container, stored away and kept in the fridge so I can use it later on, maybe in my salad. But for now, we're just making ourselves a lovely broth. So what's in that broth? It's so simple. The bones and carcass of a chicken, some black peppercorns, and some fennel seeds. Occasionally, I will pop in some garlic, just to give a little bit of an immune boost to your enterocytes as well. Even half a clove will make a difference because it's cooking for such a long time. So this then, with the lid on, goes on top of the stove, over here. Turn it on. Leave it at a high temperature for about 5 minutes until it's steaming, not really boiling. And then you can put it on simmer, a lower temperature again, for about, honestly, about 2 hours. So you want it to simmer away for about 2 hours so that the meat and stock that's in the nutrients that are in the bones will leach into the water, and the water will be something that you will then be ingesting. And we'll show you specifically what you do with that once this is cooked. Okay, so our stock is ready. We're going to just go and get it from the stove. Just be careful because it's hot. Now, what we want to do is just make sure that we're sieving it to get the bones and cartilages and extra little pieces of meat out of it, because it's the liquid that will heal your enterocytes. So I use a colander and a sieve together. Make sure we're getting lots of little bits. So you could probably get away with just using a colander if you wanted to. And I just pour this hot stuff, and sometimes I let it cool down for safety, but just pour it in. Let it go in there. You can see the sieve is catching the bits and pieces, the garlic and everything else as well. And you end up with, once you take this away, a lovely container. It actually smells beautiful. The garlic, I think, makes it smell especially nice. A lovely container of chicken stock to heal your enterocytes with. Now, don't worry, you don't have to drink all of this as it is. So what I do with this is I put it into either let it cool first a fair bit. It goes kind of gloopy when it cools. Grab myself a spatula and maybe something like a spoon, and literally feed it into it. Use a bowl, maybe a jug that has a spout on it. Pour it into these jars, or a plastic container. This was from a soup. You can imagine how many times before I would have had shop stores bought soup, and that doesn't happen for me or any of my clients anymore. We're really concentrating on getting the good stuff, not any of the bad stuff. So these old containers from anything that you have around the house, or jars from anything that you have around the house, you can just pour it in. Some people will wait for it to cool, and it's perfectly okay to put it into freezer bags once it's cold, and just put it in your fridge and put it in your freezer. And with this, anytime you're having something, let's say you're cooking some mashed potato, or you're cooking some of the stew that I'll be showing you how to make in a little while, you can add this stock to it. That's the basis of making sure that it's being eaten every day for 5 days, taking a few days off, and then eating it for 3 or 4 days, or eating it for 5 days again in a row. The enterocyte, as we explained in an earlier video, needs those 5 days to heal. So thank you for watching. We're going to move on now next to me showing you how to make the stew. So continue reading, and we'll see you later.